Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Sagittarius. If Sagittarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, Sagittarius, tonight we have the Queen of Cups. Definitely, I would say, top 4 favorite cards, favorite archetypes. So excited when this card gets pulled. Either this one or the King of Cups. I'm always like, yes, here we go. And so we're going to go ahead and see what this very emotional, that's what it is. That cup is the vessel of those emotional waters, isn't it? They are also psychic and intuitive, healing, but also very corrosive if you don't know how to work with them. So we'll see how these tea leaves kind of go together with the energy of the Queen of Cups. And I want to go ahead and say thank you for deciding to click on this reading and checking out a tea leaf reading, maybe for your first time. I get lots of comments here saying, I've never seen one before. So if that's you, shout it out in the comments. And I also want to say thank you for taking that chance. Also, if you are returning, welcome back. I appreciate you. I totally do. And what else? I guess that's it. Let's get started. All right. I just like to take a look here. Oh, so we have a lighthouse. Interesting. I haven't had a lighthouse in a while. Thankfully, I haven't had a tower in a while either. But we have the lighthouse right here. You could see, like, here's the ground. Here's the little island or cliff or whatever it's on. And then we have the lighthouse right here. You can see with the top up there. And if you've never seen the movie The Lighthouse, you should check it out. What a strange movie. Really good. So when we pull this out, it almost kind of looks like the face of a salamander. You can see the eyes, the nose, kind of the shading in here would be down into the chin, and the head just kind of being the central point there. Now, the salamander is the elemental of fire or the wand energy, okay? So this is one of passion. We have the water principle, which is emotional and psychic, and then we have that fiery, creative, you could think of the kundalini, of pleasure, of passion, having that moment where an idea just absolutely strikes you and you think, oh, I have to do that. I have to go. You know, maybe you paint and you have to get out of bed and go paint in your studio, or maybe it's like you have the perfect post, the best meme you'll ever make. You got to get up and make that thing real quick, you know, whatever it is. But I do. I feel like there is this, there is something coming up where you have a decision. And however many options there are, there's only one that really has that kind of light. That thing that you think, oh my gosh, that would be so nice. Can you imagine if everything aligned and I could do this? And, you know, I ended up like doing my you know, best work, or finally getting the job that I've always wanted that I can actually enjoy doing. Or maybe it is, you know, finding like a spiritual teacher or pathway, a system of initiation or mysteries, or, you know, maybe it is like a religious system. Maybe finding your new congregation, your new mosque or temple to visit, finding meaning not only in the community but within the tenants. And that's like one of the big, when that fire energy shows up with that water energy, and it has to do with the love of the divine, of, you know, your faith, your devotion, nothing, almost nothing. I would say two other things are close, right? Love of self, learning to really fully embrace yourself and love yourself. And two, children, having children. I hate to be that lady that's like, I was never the same after I had my daughter, you know, and it's true though. I mean, for me it is anyways. So I do feel like there will be a choice here, and you're going to have to decide. This isn't something where you just ignore it and it just kind of, well, it'll come back up later on. I feel like this is almost maybe something that you're being forced into, or circumstances have just kind of fallen in the way that you're going to have to, you know, like maybe your lease is up and the people, have decided to sell the building or something, and I'm gonna have to move now. So maybe this is the right time for me to take that leap of faith and do that thing that I've been wanting to do. Or maybe it is like, you know, you're going to a certain church, you've always gone there, the congregation got smaller, and now they're, you know, either combining congregations or possibly just shutting it down. And now it's time. I have to go out. I have to find somewhere else, you know, to worship, to find my place to be with God, right? And to be with the people that feel like family. And, you know, sometimes in life these things happen. And the choice has already kind of been made for us. Not what you will do, but that something needs to be done. Okay, so that's kind of the energy I'm feeling. So there is kind of a low vibration of anxiety beneath it all, but more than that, I feel like you are excited about the possibilities. Okay, and I think that is what is really going to not only get you through the dang thing, but really actually flourish as you are making these changes. Okay, so we also have, it looks like a person here. We have a person right here. We also have what looks like mountains and maybe even a volcano in the back there. We also have, it looks like an ant, A-N-T, an ant. And we have a person standing here. You can see the head, having a word. It looks like talking to a bird right here. So, and we have two people, it looks like, fighting down here. We have a bird down here too, the goose that looks angry. I feel like within your workspace, and that's because we have the ant, I feel like in that workspace, that work sector of your life, it's constantly this feeling of, when is everything just going to like blow up here? Like, when is this volcano going to go off, right? When When is the next big drama, the next, argument, the next firing, just the constant feeling of dis-ease, right? Not disease, but dis-ease. And I feel like it's almost like you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. You just can't trust it. And I think that really wears on you. It really wears on you. Now, we also have, it looks like maybe a soul guide, guardian angel, some kind of entity or intelligence that maybe has visited you in your dreams, in your visions, in your meditation. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through this without my voice going out. As you maybe know, if you watch my channel or my husband's channel, shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My husband, Paul, over there is amazing. Go check out his readings if you haven't. We've been sick, just on and off for the last couple months here. But thank you for putting up with it. So I feel like this interaction really has so much to do with making this life-changing decision, because it's like, I feel like you've been looking for answers in so many places. Like, if I just do this, maybe it'll fix everything. If I just do this, maybe this will fix everything. And it just hasn't come together yet, but I feel like this is so much about your spiritual journey, ultimately. I mean, everything kind of is anyways, but I feel like you being in this workplace as it is right now, or at least how you perceive it to be, how you feel about it, is a blockage for you. And I think it is also something that really stresses your emotional sectors out, right? I feel like you are somebody who is constantly bringing home whatever's happening in that workplace. You are bringing it home with you. There's not a lot of separation there. And so I feel like this is like an intervention. This is like, okay, we are here. We are your guardian angels. We are your ancestors. We are your, your elders. We are those who look after you. And we're here to let you know that something needs to change. Because it's not been beneficial for you, the way that you have been, living. Well, I don't know if it's how you've been living so much as the circumstances at work, maybe at home, but I think a lot of it has to do with work, okay? So the interesting thing is, I don't see it just being like you have to quit. But I do think that something has to change. Now, we also have it's O-A-K, like oak. Or Oakleys, maybe. I don't know. Oak. We also have a fish over here. So we have money. There's money. Money doesn't feel like it's a huge issue. Of course, money is an issue for everybody. But I don't think that you're lacking in that right now. Or at least it's not your main focus. So that's a good sign. At least things are hopefully stable, right? Yeah. Now that goose down there, I do feel like there's often a sense of almost getting into arguments, getting really in your emotions. And I think this is what you bring home with you. And it affects the way that you communicate with your family. Because you're stressed out about the work stuff. And so I feel like this is like where a lot of the work needs to happen for you. Not the work, but the interior work. I think this is something that you know about yourself. And I keep seeing ma, M-A, ma, mom, mother. And I wonder if this is something that's similar to the way that your mother maybe raised you. Always stressed out, bringing home all the dramas of work and relationships and things, and kind of making it your problem. And so it kind of almost seems like maybe you have taken on some of that communication style, but I think you're aware that you don't want to, like, you don't want to subject other people that are uninvolved to things that have nothing to do with them. Like, you don't want to come home and be mad because, you know, Jerry at work didn't fill out the right slip, and when you said something to him, he mouthed off or whatever, you know, and then you come home and you're like yelling at the kids because they didn't put their cereal bowls away this morning or whatever, you know what I mean? And it does. These things just all kind of, it all just goes, you know, interacts with each other. And you don't want to bring home that stress. And also you should have a break from all of that and be able to have a place to come home. That's your sanctuary. That feels, you know, like it doesn't have to be super joyful, but at least peaceful, right? You are put at ease when you arrive and you are there. And so I think that this is like the big work, is figuring out what can you do to put some of that away. Now, that might have to be like you stop and you know, have a few moments to yourself. You sit in the parking lot and you chant, or, you know, drink a latte, or, you know, go to the park and take a walk. Let some of that stress just roll off of you, or, you know, whatever it is. Indulge in a hobby or interest, but finding coping mechanisms that are going to help you stop dumping everything into your personal life. Okay? All right. Now, I want to take a look. So we have the owl. We have a lot of birds today. So many, like, messages coming through. We have a little bird up here. We have an owl up here. We have the watcher. That's the owl. And then we have, it looks like, probably a little, I don't know, maybe like a little robin. So I feel like when the robins are around, they're very systematic. If you've ever watched them, they kind of like hunt the yard in a grid. And I feel like in this situation, it really is. It's about getting things in order, having a bit of a plan for yourself, not just seeing like, oh, I'll see what happens, which we already talked about. That's not the vibe here. This is like you're looking at your life. You're seeing where, yeah, this is maybe something that I have learned. This is kind of some conditioning stuff. These are reactions and coping mechanisms and behaviors that I have used because they helped me at some point in my life, but now it's detrimental, okay? And now I need to do this work. And now I need to figure out, what am I going to do? What kind of techniques are going to work for me? Okay? I will always push looking into CBT and DBT. You don't have to go to a therapist necessarily. If you are privileged in that way and have the opportunity to see a therapist, a counselor, or something like this, then I would say take that opportunity. Okay? If you don't, or it's just not something that's feasible for you right now, there are a lot of like workbooks and different kinds of books all over the internet for these things. Now, again, that's CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, or DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, which is kind of like a subgroup of CBT. And there are a lot of practices within both of these systems that are very helpful. Now, I'm not going to go into them. And I'll also mention I'm not a therapist. I'm not certified or licensed to give you any advice about anything, really. But I'm just a regular person. I do think it's beneficial to everybody. And they should be teaching a lot of this stuff in schools, if you ask me. But yes, they do. I think it's about making a plan and sticking to it. Okay. Now, also the watcher. I feel that you feel this yourself, but there's almost this kind of like energy of I don't know if it's like your guardian angels or if this is like a real person, but it feels like somebody has taken an interest in what you're doing and you're feeling that. And it is altering how you behave to some degree. So I think that's something to look at as well. Because you don't want to be in a performative mindset when you're doing this kind of work. The best work, the most important work that we do is unseen. It's the stuff we don't talk about. It's the stuff we don't tell anybody about. It's the stuff that we just get up and we get on our grind and we do the dang thing. And that's where it counts. So whatever that is where you feel like somebody's watching or you have to, keep it confined to some degree so nobody judges you or you don't have to explain yourself, try to push that out of your mind. Just focus on what you're doing. Focus on the work that is before you. Okay, we're going to do 3 lucky numbers. We have number 69, number 69, number 97. Oh, come on. I don't want it to go too far. It'll fly that way. Number 100. Beautiful, 100. I've never gotten the 100 on there, I don't think. All right, now we're going to stop with our self-care affirmation cards. This will be the last thing. I'm just going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Basket of blessings. I appreciate this precious day. Every moment of life is a gift. I will pause throughout my day and be grateful for it. Practicing appreciation fills my life with more joy and goodness. All right. Well, Sagittarius, I want to tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you for spending this time with me. If you want to like, subscribe, leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Other than that, I just want to wish you well. Happy New Year. We're into the new year. It's a beautiful one. It's going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous 2025. I can just feel it. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be, making a lot of progress. But it's not always easy, is it? So it's going to be a beautiful year, but it's going to be a lot of work. That's all right. That's what we're here for, right? So anyways, I love you. I love you. I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Good night.